Waterworld has become a legendary bad failure movie.
It's a watershed moment in bad movies, if you will.
It was the most expensive movie at its time, and it made like $10.
You kind of get seasick watching it a little bit, but it did make me a little bit wary of setting foot on a boat.
It made me also want to stop swimming and boating and bathing.
I've avoided water since this movie. I stay away from the tap. It's all liquor.
He was Costner at the apex of his powers. He could do no wrong until he became a merman.
It's too bad this movie bombed, because it would have been a great ride at Universal Studios.
This was sort of like the original Titanic. This was the movie that set that water precedence. However, the ship didn't sink, the whole movie did. Any movie that sits on the shelf for 2 years should probably stay on the shelf.
This was kind of one of the first in the major downfall movies of Eddie Murphy, and he keeps making these terrible movies. This one is out of this world bad.
The movie's from 2003, but it looks like it's from 1983.
I can't make it through the entire thing.
There just came a point where the old Eddie Murphy was gone, and then new Eddie Murphy was in, and he did things like Norbit.
No, Eddie has a really extreme career. Like he'll do great things like Raw and Delirious. It's like he just doesn't care.
It's a pleasure to meet me.
You know what's funnier than Pluto Nash? Everything. The violent story about how a criminal lesbian, a tough guy hitman with a heart of gold, and a retarded man came to be best friends through a hostage. Actual synopsis. You cannot make this shit up.
What makes Chili bad is Ben Affleck's hair. Ben Affleck plays Italian like a baby would say spaghetti. That's got to be his lowest point.
Is suckmy.com.
This movie includes some of the classic lines of cinema. It is turkey time, gobble gobble.
It's turkey time.
Huh?
Gobble gobble.
That's so gross that I just can't even think about it.
That line is just one of those things I will never forget. Gobble gobble.
I've watched Geely only to look at J-Lo. That was it. She was stretching in the movie, talking about her lady parts. That made it Casablanca for me. It was the best movie ever.
This movie is so bad that Taylor Kitsch being shirtless for the entire movie doesn't make it worth watching.
What is John Carter? Who is John Carter? Also, who cares?
I think that anybody that would greenlight a movie this stupid should lose their job.
You are ugly, but you are beautiful.
Everyone really wants Taylor Kitsch to be a big deal because he's so great on Friday Night Lights.
People that missed the last season of Friday Night Lights must have been so confused by this movie.
Samuel Jackson was in this thing, right?
He's in everything.
Please do not remake or do a sequel for John Carter.
I feel badly for everybody associated with John Carter. They tried.
You will fight for us.
You know what makes it awful is that it costed that much money, and I hadn't even heard of this till you guys told me about it.
I worked on that movie and didn't hear of it till now.
If my name were John Carter, I would have changed my name after this movie. Same goes for Pluto Nash.
This is number one because so many things went wrong with it. The casting is bad, the acting is bad, the script is bad, and it cost a load of money to make something so bad.
We have 5 movies here. 3 of the titles include planets. Don't name your movie after a planet.
The main reason that the movie did so poorly is probably because you couldn't tell if that's John Travolta or Whoopi Goldberg.
John Travolta looks like a cross between the Star Trek characters and the Cowardly Lion.
The only worst dreadlock wig I've seen was in 8 Mile.
John Travolta grew his for real. He was method acting. He grew it for real.
John Travolta's wicked laugh. It's really good.
The characters spend their whole times laughing maniacally through it. Like, they know how terrible it is.
It's like watching someone vomit.
They had to recast it. They need a new director. They need a new script. They need new costumes. Start over and don't be sci-fi.
It's a bad movie and it should feel bad.